Hello, it's Laura here from Be Modern Meditation, and I should be live now over in Facebook as well as on Zoom. Yes, it looks like we are all present and correct, fingers crossed. Now it's Monday morning, and I have to say I came outside this morning, and it was looking all grey outside, and I thought, do I really want to be outside this morning? And then I came outside, and it was so lovely. The starlings all came up off the reed bed. I saw them kind of all dispersed, ready for their day. The sky, there's just these little glimpses of that, almost like a sort of pinky undertone where even though it's grey and cloudy, there's just a hint of it. So actually, I'm really glad to be out here. It's damp, it's a little bit cool and fresh, but that's okay. Now, this morning in our meditation, this month in my membership community, we're focusing on managing stress. And why do we have a theme each month for membership? Well, partly it's because actually that way we can not just meditate, we can actually grow and expand. But also it's actually just tapping into our natural human curiosity, because one of the things that's tricky about meditation and building a meditation practice is that it can feel a bit boring. Hello, whoever the eyes are, I can't see who's with me. That it can feel a bit like, if you think about it as brain training, that we're training our capacity to pay attention, to build our awareness of exactly what's happening. It just like reps at a gym on a muscle. There is an element of heavy lifting with that. And so morning, Tiff. So the reason we have a theme and we keep things moving and evolving is because if we don't do that, actually we can end up, I don't know if you've ever had that gym fatigue feeling of like, oh, can't be bothered to do that. So this is about it's about two things: about helping you build a practice as well as expanding what you think and feel about that practice. So when we think about managing stress this week, we're going to be looking really about really working out what happens for us with stress. And there's a couple of nifty things that you can do to sort of work out where your system's at. So if I'm going to get your finger, it's a bit weird, but you're smelling. If you blow out onto your finger, you probably notice, if you're like 90% of the people, one nostril is stronger. The air comes out of one nostril more than the other. Now, the right nostril is associated with our sympathetic nervous system. That's our fight or flight, stress response nervous system. And our left is associated with our parasympathetic, so the rest and digest, calming side of our nervous system. So when the air is stronger out of your left nostril, you're more in your parasympathetic nervous system. So maybe when you first wake up in the morning, maybe that's where you are. The right hand nostril is your sympathetic. Now, we tend to think of that fight or flight response as being a bad thing, that we shouldn't, that our aim is to just stay in this lovely parasympathetic state. But actually, that's not the case, because it's all about balance. And actually, naturally, we cycle through both of those sides. So every 90 minutes or so, we're actually switching. And actually, if you want to try that throughout your day, before eating or when you've done something, just keep an eye on it. The problem for us is that we get stuck in one side or another. Now, if you've got an adrenaline filled lifestyle, more often you'll get stuck in this right hand side, and be on. But before we start trying to manipulate that, we can actually just think about balancing it rather than trying to eliminate anything. So in our practice this morning, we're going to really just tune into our body as a way of dropping in and starting our week feeling connected. And then we'll finish with 10 rounds of breathing, where I will guide your breath just to slow down the rate of your breathing and balance the ratio of your breathing, so that you are breathing in as much as you breathe out. And that balancing, whether you're too much in one side or the other, it will either bring you down or just bring you up if you're a bit sluggish. So that's the focus this morning. And just be curious and see how it is for you today. And I will just check that there's nobody trying to get into Zoom, because sometimes Facebook doesn't tell me, oh, Claire, you're in here instead of Zoom. I just saw your Zoom registration. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'll keep my eyes half open on the Zoom, because last week somebody was trying to get in and I didn't notice. So closing down your eyes, and you might hopefully hear some lovely bird song this morning, because they have been really, really vocal this morning. So closing down your eyes, and in terms of our posture, we're just trying to find a middle space between active and relaxed. We don't want to be so relaxed that we're falling asleep, but we also don't want to be holding it so rigidly and so tightly that it's uncomfortable. So just effortless effort. And if thoughts happen, just notice and come back. That is the prep, that is the practice, that is the brain training. So we'll begin by just paying attention to the breath. Just noticing that the body's breathing for you. You don't need to make anything happen. If the mind's already wandered, just gently coming back. Noticing the feel of your feet on the floor or underneath you if you're sitting cross-legged. Maybe noticing the weight of your body in the chair or on the bed. And we'll take our attention to the very tips of the fingers. Without moving the fingers, just let your full focus rest there. Coming back anytime the mind wanders. You might notice a gentle tingling or vibration in the fingers, like a gentle humming or buzzing. That's your nervous system responding to your attention. Your fingers preparing for movement. Even if you don't feel anything, that's okay too. Just pay attention there. And seeing if you can add your toes to your awareness. Your fingers and your toes in your awareness. Maybe you can feel that same tingling in the toes. Or maybe it's harder to feel that connection to the toes. We're not trying to make a sensation happen. We're just paying attention to what's already there. And allowing that awareness to spill across the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet, almost like liquid spilling across. Maybe it's warm or maybe it's cool. Just notice how it can spread without too much trying. There's no effort or trying, we're just allowing. So often in our lives, we're rushing and pushing and trying to make things happen. And this is the opposite. And now allowing your awareness to travel up your ankles, noticing the shins, the calves, all the way up to the knees. And from the knees, traveling along the thighs, into the hips, noticing the feel of the chair underneath your thighs. Maybe noticing the legs touching each other. Maybe feeling the texture of whatever's covering you, whether it's clothes or a blanket. Just noticing the weight of the legs. Maybe there's a heaviness or a lightness. And from the hands, traveling up the forearms. And as you do, feeling the weight of the arms in the lap. From the crook of the arm all the way up to the shoulders. Across the chest. Down to the belly. Noticing the shoulder blades. Beginning to become aware of any areas of tension in the body. Stress tends to be habitual. The stressful thoughts, the stressful actions, and the way it feels in our body. And before we get carried away, we can just notice, where do I feel it today? Perhaps the jaw is slightly clenched. The cheekbones, the eye socket, tension in the forehead. Just notice what happens when you pay attention to those areas of tension. Do they dissolve? Do they spread? Just be curious about what happens. And we'll set an intention to be right here with whatever comes up in the body and in the mind. And if there's thoughts, just gently letting them go and coming back, even if you have to do it many times. We'll use the breath to anchor us. So paying attention to how the body's breathing for you. This awareness of the body extends to an awareness of the rising and falling of the breath. So as you breathe in, without trying to control it, just gently label it rising. And as you breathe out, falling. Rising, falling. Rising, falling. And as we have some silence, we just use that gentle labeling if it helps you to stay anchored and have something to return to when your mind wanders. And we'll make a shift now from allowing the breath to come and go and just observing the breath to consciously controlling it as a way to interrupt our nervous system to choose how we respond. So I'll guide you through 10 rounds of just inhaling and exhaling without effort, just gently managing the flow and the rate. So we'll be inhaling for 4, a count of 4, and we'll exhale for a count of 4, and we'll do that 10 times. So we'll inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 2 more rounds. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let the breath relax, face relax, body relax. Just letting the breath come and go. Notice if there's a tendency to want to still control the breath. If you can just allow. Finding balance just through stillness. And gently returning movement to the fingers and the toes. Taking any movements or stretches that feel good. And then gently blinking open the eyes. And just taking a moment before you rush back into your day. And for those of you watching this webinar or replay who are interested in finding a way to make meditation work, to not necessarily join every single day, but to have access to meditation in a way that can really work for you and that you can have your questions answered, you can be part of a community and finally find a way that will allow you to create space. You can join the community until the end of the week. I'll pop a link in the comments. And Tiff, thank you for joining. It's fantastic that you're here and that you've joined the membership. And I will see you all very soon. Well, for those of you in the membership, I'll see you tomorrow at 2:15. And everybody else, I'll see you next Monday. Take care.